And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you as I always do every day. And it is a pleasure to come and hang out with you guys. Today is Tip Tuesday. So you know what we do on Tip Tuesdays. We're back into our regular routines. Yes, Tip Tuesday is today. And we will be talking at the end, mastering composition with symmetry on your smartphone. So we'll be talking about the smartphone, how to use this one composition. There's many compositions. So we're going to be talking about mastering compositions with symmetry. Okay, so that's what we'll do there. And that's today. Are you guys feeling good? Are you guys feeling good? I got a lot of questions for you. The insanity. Can I say the insanity of it all? Holy moly. So the market was down yesterday for all those folks. First of all, if I get into the sharing about that stuff, let me just say good morning to some folks. I see Miss Hannah is in the building. Good morning, Hannah. Good morning. And make sure you hit those likes. It lets people know that we are on. Every time you come on, just hit the like. If you come on, hit the like. And whether you like it or not. Hannah says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. So happy to be back with you. I feel the same way, Hannah. I feel the same way with you being here. I see here Jazzy Jazz is in the building. She says, good morning, beautiful people. Take a deep breath when you say beautiful people. So good to see you, Jazzy. Hey, Kaz is in the building. Blessed, tenacious Tuesday. Love it, love it, love it. I love that word, tenacious. It's one of my favorite words. Make sure you hit those likes. Felicia, Felicia is in the building. Miss Fifi, sending love. Love you, Miss Fifi. And we're getting closer to our weekend, right? You coming to New York. Oh, we're going to have a good time in New York. And I got to rest up for that. That weekend, because I realized after this weekend passed and I was hanging out in the Bronx, and last week I was hanging out in the Bronx, both nights when I returned home, I just plopped on the sofa and fell asleep. I was knocked out. I didn't move until the next day. So I realized, as my friends keep telling me, Ron, you are still healing from your surgery. So the body takes time to heal. So I will make sure I get lots of rest so I can keep up with Felisa, Miss Fifi. Miss Fifi. Hannah says, good morning, Jazzy. And Cass says, Tip Tuesday and ready. Yes, let's get those tips. This is a good one. This is a good photo Tip Tuesday. I think it's going to help you. And we're going to really gear most of these, because most of what we talk about in smartphone photography can also be applied to your regular, for those that are more advanced. But since most people in this community use their smartphones as their their cameras for photography, I said, I will make sure that I spend more time in photography geared towards your smartphone. That can make your pictures better, and you can use your phones in ways that you never thought you could use them. So that's what we're going to talk about later as well. So, well, we are in a trade war. Tariff trade war. Whew, just when you thought things could not get worse, it can only get worse. It can only get worse. Oh, hold on a second. Fifi says, yes, please rest. Please take your view. Self continue straight until Turner McCall. Okay. And my GPS got into my microphone. Sorry. Oh, and I see she says, Fifi says, love to everybody. That's funny. Okay. Make sure you hit the likes. If you hit the likes, Then they know that we are on. Then they know we are on. Also, I see over in the Instagram world, uh, Samia, Salima is in the building, and Judy of Rally is in the building, and Soldier in the house is in the building. Come on over to our YouTube channel. That's where you'll get a better experience. You can put it on the phone. You can work. You can do things while you are working. When you have your YouTube listed, you're using the YouTube channel. Yes, my friends. Yes, come on over to YouTube. Come on over. I don't know. The other night, it was not allowing me to type. Let me see here. Come over to YouTube. You put that in there so that they can come on over to okay, here we go. It might work this time, but lately Instagram has been giving a lot of problems. And I do believe it's all a conspiracy. Now I'm beginning to believe in conspiracy theories here. Yep, it's still not posting. Still not posting what I'm sending out. Nope, it's not doing it. Okay, so we know I cannot type no longer. Turn off commenting. Nope. Okay, so I can't seem to put anything in the messages in my Instagram. Eventually, we will get rid of Instagram. Eventually, we will no longer be on Instagram. I just go on Instagram because I know that it sends alerts out and you guys can see when I'm online. But I am beginning to get totally frustrated with Instagram and really don't like it. And what they're doing and bombing down to Trump, it gives me more reason to not to go to Facebook. Facebook is hard time. Like I used to be able to connect with Facebook. They make it more difficult for StreamYard to connect with Facebook. So you know what? To hell with Meta. I am done with Meta. Yes, they are no longer one of my favorite platforms. I cannot wait for another. Well, like I said, in a year, we probably won't be on here at all. None of us, because they will have totally taken over everything. The dictators, the oligarchies, all the aristocrats. So here we go. I see in here. Omar's in the building. Omar says, "Good morning, family." And Kelly A is in the building. She says, "Good morning, everyone." Yes. Yeah. Omar says, "StreamYard is woke and it's DEI." Look at the diversity over at StreamYard and on YouTube. Look at the diversity. People from all kinds of backgrounds. Chris R is in the building. She says they want to make it more difficult. Yeah, when you go on Instagram, I look at all my friends who have thousands of followers, like tens of thousands of followers, and only 25, 30 likes, 50 likes, maybe 100 likes. So that goes to show you, no one's really seeing anything. I'm only using Instagram as a portfolio. And again, when I come online, it sends a little, Ron is online. That's it. Other than that, there's no use for Instagram any longer. Other than it's a portfolio. You can just share some of your photos. And obviously, you get some good information as people are posting in stories. So, I mean, it has its benefits. And we're going to use some of those resources today. So we're going to talk about that early on. Again, if you're just joining, we'll be talking about in this show, mastering composition with symmetry. That is the last part of the show. But right now, we're going to be talking about what's going on in the world right now. Let me get you set up so you can see what is going on in the world right now. Well, the market seems to try to make a comeback. Let's see. Let me show you what the market's doing. Do I have my Yahoo? I like my Yahoo better. MSNBC. MS is not a good chart. Let me go to my Yahoo Finance. I taught you guys how to do Yahoo Finance, right? Didn't I teach you guys how to do Yahoo Finance? Yeah, you want to use Yahoo Finance for your stock market coverage because it gives you the best graphics and stuff like that. So let's see here. I got my portfolio in here. News, markets. Let's look at markets. Okay. Let's see where the Dow is. Dow Industrials. and then I'll bring this on the screen for you all. Okay, US. Okay, let's do this. DA down industrial. There we go. That's what I want. That's what I want. Here we go. That's what I want to see. Okay, guys, here we go. Let me present that for you. Let me present that for you. Share. So, guys, I don't know about you, but I am not feeling great. I'm not feeling great. You know, Trump talks about being great. Well, look at that. Look at what the market is today. Now, for those that are following the market, yesterday, I probably don't even want to look at your 401k or anything that you have. And I've been made aware of that a lot of Americans, and we know most Americans don't even have a 401k. Most Americans don't even have retirement. So that's just the reality. So this means nothing to some people. But look at where we are. This is real time. It's 11:11, well 11:13, and the market is down 435 points. It was down 500 points plus because Trump came out with another tariff for Canada. And he doesn't know how to back down. He just keeps going at it because he's psychologically damaged. The president is psychologically damaged. And he's impulsive. He cannot control himself. He is a bad child. Anyway, so the market, as you can see, is trying to make a little comeback, but it's going to continue to most likely go down. But look at the market in the last month. Look at that. Look at where the market was. This man inherited a great economy. Biden and Harris put together one of the best economies in the world. Now, was everyone benefiting? No, but it was still one of the best economies in the world. Now look at it. Now look at it. The market was at the stock market, the high is 4,500, right? 45,000. We are now down to 41.5 thousand. 41,000. We've lost 4,000 points on the market in just a month. Look at that. Look at that. We're almost in correction stage. Almost in a correction. For those that don't know, that's usually 10% of the market. If the market loses 10%, consecutive days, moving down, trending downward, we are in for a major correction. Then what happens after a correction? No one knows. So how are you guys feeling about all this? How are you feeling about all of this? It's kind of scary, isn't it? And what are you guys saying over? I see any response? Anyone out there? How are you feeling? How are you feeling about this? Oh, Danette says, it is crazy with the market right now. I've had to move a lot of things around in my retirement account. There you go. That's someone that's reacting. Be careful, right? Jetty says, this man is throwing us off a cliff, and it is extremely frustrating as a working individual trying to survive. Yeah. What are you guys doing? So we got Dante. There's some people are moving things around to support this changing economic downfall. But yesterday, the market was down as much as 1,100 points yesterday. It came back a little bit to down only 890. Now we're talking about significant numbers. Significant numbers. Again, the market has lost 4,000 points since this man took office. And then the nerve on his Fox interview, which there's no truth on Fox. goes on and says, Biden caused this. Biden caused this. What an idiot. What an idiot. What an idiot. It is the insanity. The insanity. Hannah says, yes, extremely scary. My 403B is taking a big hit. Scary. Scary. We don't know where this is going to go. We have no idea. We have no idea where this is going to go. No, no, no. We don't know. We don't know. Okay. Let me change. So now you know. But I'm not an expert. I used to work on Wall Street, but I'm not an expert. However, I do know that what history has shown, people say, is he doing this on purpose? Is he doing this on purpose? Well, history has shown that several times we have recessions. Some of them were purposely driven. And rich people love a good recession. Rich people love a good depression. You know what happened in 1929 in the Great Crash? The Great Depression, should I say, the Great Depression. Remember what happened? People like J.P. Morgan, what did they do? They bought up other banks, swallowed up banks, swallowed up properties. Rich people say the world is on sale. That's what we learned while we were on Wall Street. That's what we learned. When you see the market goes down like it is today, that means the market is on sale. That's what we used to say at the stock exchange on the trading floor. The market said, when the market's like this, rich people start salivating. They get excited. Why? Because they can buy. The old rule of buying stocks is what? Sell high, buy low. Sell high, buy low. And repeat and rinse and repeat and rinse. Buy low, sell high. Right? Yeah. Kimmy Kim says, I seen the post about the rich getting richer, selling and buying. Yes. Because also, like I used to do, you can buy as the market's falling. For instance, there's a lot of traders out there buying, I should say, short selling. That's where you buy stock anticipation of the market falling. Or I should say you're selling it. So you sell short. Too complicated to get into right here. But there's a lot of people making money off this crazy swing of this tariffs craziness. So we have to wonder, is it purpose? Is it on purpose? Is it on purpose? Okay, I have to ask you a question. Since you're here, there's not a lot of us in here today like we normally have, but if you're in here, I need you to think. I just want to ask a question. I'm not going to put a poll up. I just want you to say yes or no. Do you think this is done? Do you think Trump is doing this on purpose? Yes or no? Do you think they want the economy to crash? Do you think they want the markets down? Yes or no? Put it in the comment box. Yes or no? And if you have a thought behind it, you can share that too. Kimmy says, more evidence that he is not interested in helping all the people, especially his base, because his base is poor. Says yes. Hannah says yes. Kimmy says yes. And Donette says yes, it's on purpose. Anyone else? Any yeses? Any nos? You can put no if you don't agree. If you don't agree, you can put no. You can say no, it's just happening. No. You can say no. But yes, it seems like the majority of folks in here say yes. Yes, Jazzy says, I want to say no because I think he isn't smart, but I do think he is doing it on purpose. So, yes, I believe it's the people around him. He's not that smart, right? He's a dum dum. I agree with you, Jazzy. He is not that smart. He's not educated. Anyone else out there? Yes or no? Yes or no? You think he's doing this on purpose? Do you think he's tanking the economy on purpose? Because we went from having the best economy 50 months, 50, not 50 straight months of economic growth and employment, right? For the first time, Social Security checks may not go out on time, may not be happening. There may be some disruption in Social Security for the first time in its 80-year history. In its 80-year history. Let that sink in. 80 years. None. There's been no interruptions on your people's Social Security. And now they have fired people, they gotten rid of people, so less staff. Instead of getting rid of less staff, they need to be increasing the staff. You need more customer service. Elderly people can't do digital stuff. They need to have conversations, right? Elderly people, and the older I get, the more I realize I need human beings more and more. Hey, Lisa's in the building. She says, crazy. Derek says yes. Derek says yes. He's doing it on purpose. Purpose. Okay. Here's something else. Look at this. I mean, look what else is happening in the world here. I mean, let me just go to I have some stuff that I save along the way for you guys on my wonderful Instagram. I come across this stuff and I save it for you all. And just take a look at what's going on in the world. Look at how the world is viewing us. This is from the Time magazine. US added to global human rights watch list over declining civil liberties. Think about that. Let that sink in. America, who has been for many years, the beacon for freedom and democracy. Now, yes, we know it hasn't always been freedom and democracy for all of us, but at least it still was a beacon for it. Now it's on the watch list for declining civil liberties. Look at this. I mean, take a look at that. Take a look at that. The United States was added Sunday to the Civiscus Monitor Watch List, a research tool that publicizes the status of freedoms and threats to civil liberties worldwide. The move comes amid President Donald Trump's assault on democratic norms and global cooperation. Civicus, a global alliance and network of civil society groups, including Amnesty International, that advocates for greater citizens' actions in areas where civil liberties are limited, in a press release. The organization also cited the administration cut off more than 90% of its foreign aid contracts and its crackdown on diversity, equity, and inclusion, which Donald Trump called illegal and immoral and discrimination programs through executive actions. You can't believe where we are. You can go through here and read through this. Other countries on the watch list included the Democratic Republic of Congo, Italy. Didn't know Italy was on this list as well. Pakistan and Serbia. Right? Right? Look at that. Look at where America is. Look how I told my brother, I told my family, they were like, Ron, don't say it. I said, yes, the eagle has fallen. The eagle has fallen. The eagle has fallen. America is no more. Derek says, here we go. There, yeah, right? Derek says, and let me get there. There we go. Derek says, Canada is ready to shut the lights off. States because this idiot. Yes, and that would be Minnesota, Michigan, and upstate New York. Lights are going to get cut off because of this moron. Yes, the orange clown. The orange clown. This is where we are. This is where we are. Here's another, I saved this stuff for you guys as I'm, Canada first. This, you got to appreciate the Canadians. Listen to this.
We won't award contracts to people who enable and encourage economic attacks on our province and our country.
Musk, when he saw this, I think this probably sent a chill down his spine. I think this is what is going to probably push Musk out of government. Starlink was his growth vehicle, and there's 1.5 million customers of Starlink in the US, 530,000 in Canada, its second largest market. That's real. And then the number 3 market, Mexico, at 435,000. And then I do like that the world does not seem to like dominance. And as a result, when anyone gets too powerful, we have a healthy gag reflex and we kind of check their power. Starlink's value in the private markets, I think it's trading at 3 or 350 billion. That number is going to come way down. If I'm Telesat or Explore, the competitors, they have no trouble raising a shit ton of money right now.
One big problem for Elon Musk would be if people start canceling Starlink contracts.
We're ripping up Ontario's contract with Starlink. It's done. It's gone. We won't award contracts to people who enable and encourage economic attacks.
There you go. Isn't that great? Isn't the thing is, what's happening is that yes, you can act the fool on the world market, but people are going to react. The world is reacting. If you are in the building, you're here for the first time, or you just here for the first time today, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit those likes. Hit the likes. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Okay, if you're in Instagram, come on over to our YouTube channel at Ron Lewis Photos. Come on over. Okay, so think about that. So all around the world, Teslas are no one's buying Teslas. The sales are down like 76%. 76% people are not buying Teslas. That's being all around the globe. Wherever Teslas are being sold, people are not buying. Only a few people are buying. Only like 32% of populations are buying it. So 76, 80% here, 50% here. Also in New York, every weekend, they protest right here at the Meatpacking District against Tesla. There are also around the country Tesla burning events where they're burning the electric chargers. They're going in, they're breaking windows. They're going after Mr. Musk. And I'm using Mr. loosely. They're going after him. But then, like these folks, Canada is the beginning. Canada is showing that we could stand up to these crazies. And we're all going to suffer for it, obviously. But what it says is that America's not in this by themselves. We who try to warn these folks, we're not in it alone. There are people around the globe responding. People in Germany, thousands and thousands of people marching the streets against rich people taking over their countries. It's happening around the globe. And Canada, man, you got to give Canada, you got to give them a nice hug, a virtual hug. They said, you know what? You had a contract with us with Starlink. No more. Goodbye. And guess what? All the other countries will follow suit. Mexico, all of them will follow suit. They will say, you know what? We don't want anything to do with Mr. Musk. We're going to get rid of these contracts. And the competitors are waiting there to get it all. And again, and because America is so stupid with this stupid person that we have as a president, he thinks the tariffs are going to bring, we're going to be really, really rich. We're going to be really, really rich. When tariffs are taxes on the citizens. How many times do people have to tell this idiot it is a tax on the citizens? And if prices are already going up, there's no they can't afford anything. They can't afford to buy. They can't afford to purchase. They can't. And you know, our economy is based on purchases, consumption. The world markets are all about consumption. So here we are. Next one. Let me see if I got the next one up here. Hold on a second. So yesterday, something happened with X. Did y'all hear about this yesterday? About Anonymous? Remember we talked about a little bit about Anonymous a couple of weeks ago? How they're on the sidelines waiting to interrupt and to foil the plans of Trump and Musk. Well, yesterday, it seems, let me get that up there. Hold on a second. It seems that Anonymous, Operation Dreadnought, we are here to fight against the fascism that has taken root in America. The Republican Party, MAGA, Trump, and Musk are, that's a little, I can't see what that says. Embezzles who are drunk on power and get off on trampling down others. The American people are suffering for it. The world is suffering for it. These are some of the worst people on the planet, hell-bent on destroying it and everyone on it. They lack morals, empathy, common decency, and any sense that we are a community. They are not kings. They do not speak for the people. They will be removed. We are anonymous. We are legend. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. These folks are real. And I don't know what they got planned, but they got plans. And they say yesterday's X got hacked yesterday, and they had a lot of interruptions yesterday on their platform. Right? There you go. This is what's happening around you. This is what's happening around you. Stay informed. I just want to bring that to you just so you can.
In 1982, students at Yale Law School founded an organization called the Federalist Society with the goal of challenging liberal ideologies. Today, 43 years later, 6 of the 9 Supreme Court justices are members or affiliates of that organization. Back in April of 2023, the Heritage Foundation published Project 2025, and now 2 years later, we are watching the plan play out in real time. The Federalist Society was created by students 43 years ago, and 6 Supreme Court justices are affiliated. That means this organization changed the course of history in the United States, and the fact that they have 6 justices on the Supreme Court means that they'll be influencing laws for a long time after. Now, in addition to the 6 justices, their website says that they have over 90,000 lawyers, judges, and students in the organization. So imagine how much this one organization influences our life. Now, Project 2025 was published 2 years ago, but it's over 900 pages. So who knows how long they actually spent writing it. Donald Trump is not Donald.
And we also know because it's the basic of Project 2025 was started in 1974.
Trump because of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is Donald Trump because they spent decades setting the stage for the right person to get in the power to execute. I feel super strong about people being educated and informed, but at the end of the day, what good is information if you don't act on it? Posting on social media is not enough. Voting is not enough. Protesting is not enough. We need to build. We need attorneys, political strategists, sociologists, and activists to come together to create a Project 2028. What are we waiting on? We need educators, authors, and content creators to come together to create curriculums that we can share outside of schools to make sure that our children are taught the things that they're trying to ban. We need founders, entrepreneurs, and engineers to come together to build platforms where we control the flow of information without the threat of shadow bans and deactivations. We need to come together. We need to start building this shit and stop waiting on the government to do it for us. We all need to figure out the things that we can use to move society forward. If you are on this internet just posting for likes and shares and follows, you ain't doing. We need actual actionable things. We have to do this ourselves. Nobody's coming to save us. In 1982, students.
There you have it. Right? So that's what we have to do. We have to do it. We have to do it. We have to educate our friends, educate our neighbors, educate one another. I'll use my platform to educate you, help you get so you can have these links will all be in the descriptions so you can be able to share them. And no one's coming to save us. However, if everyone rises up together, we can save ourselves. We can save ourselves. Okay, I see how many people who's in the building. Who's in the building? What do you guys think on that? Okay, we have here. Yeah, so do you guys believe that we're heading for a recession? I do believe we're already in a recession. And so keep your ears and eyes open. And if you are, I've been sharing with you guys, it is time, especially right now, because the tariffs have not totally kicked in. Every time you go grocery shopping, buy an extra bag of rice, buy extra cans of food, buy extras. That's stuff that is long term. You can put in the cabinet, put in your pantry. Get your toilet paper, get your water, get all the things you need now. It's so important that you start living a life of what can happen. As in other words, how are you preparing? I have a question to you as audience, as people in this community. How are you preparing? You can put it in the comment box. How are you preparing? Are you preparing? Is this something that's important to you? Are you thinking about what if there's a food shortage? Or like I had to go out and buy a new phone because I knew that the tariffs are coming. So I said, let me break the bank, get the phone now because I needed new technology because my phone was 5 years old, going on 6 years old, and it was getting old. And I said, well, I won't be able to afford a new phone for another 6 years, so I better get one now. Right? Dr. Taj, does that mean you're flying the coop? The airplane means you're flying away. I'll fly away, like the old song, like the old Negro song in church. I'll fly away. Yeah. How are you preparing? You got to start thinking this way. You got to start thinking outside the box. You got to start thinking that way. How are you preparing? Get extra food. Like I said, go to the grocery store, buy things that you need, things that are necessary that you're going to need. We talked about the getaway bag, getting that ready, getting that set up, right? It's important, guys. Okay, we're going to get ready to do a lesson in a little bit, but I just wanted to make sure that we covered those, and that way you can see some of these snippets. There's a lot more. I have a bunch of snippets. You know what? There's one more I have to give to you because they could try to erase us, but they cannot erase us. They cannot. And this was, here we go. Look at this one. This was actually so, it's where we are. It's where we are. And let me see if I can get that up there. And here we go. In case you missed it yesterday, it's been happening all weekend. It started, I think, on Saturday, and the dismantling of the square, Black Lives Matter square in DC. Here we go. And then
in case you all needed a visual representation of where we are right now, they are actively at this current moment in Washington, D.C., tearing up the Black Lives Matter street. Did you hear what I said? They are taking taxpayer dollars to tear up a street because that's how much they hate us. Do you understand what's happening? I just want everybody to be clear. Okay, they have people out there working to tear up a street that was laid down to represent unity, represent that our lives matter. Okay, and they are actively tearing it up, which shows what? They do not care about us and we do not matter. This is where we are. I just want everybody to be clear in case there was any misunderstanding. Also, none of this is normal. Okay. I just want everybody to be clear on that. So on top of the DEI rollbacks and on top of threatening schools, on top of all of that, we're tearing up streets now. Okay. That's how much this is rooted in actual hate.
There you go. So just take note what's going on. I mean, obviously we know that this is all about white supremacy and everything that's black or of color or even women is being destroyed. And this is an all-out war, all-out assault. I see here, Fifi says, hold on a second, let me get Fifi's up there. She says, same Ron, got my phone stocking up. My family has their passports. Get it done. And remember, guys, get your real IDs done. I need to get mine done. I was supposed to get mine done this week. I will, but I hear now you have to make an appointment because there's so many people and the deadline is in May, right? So if you want to travel, you will have to have that in May. Starting in May, you will have to have your real ID. So get your real ID. Also, Dr. Tully said, I'm always in prep mode because of the hurricanes. I hear that. Kimmy says, I have my passport and talking to family to get theirs. That's right. That's how you do it, guys. Talk to your family. You got to talk to your family. They are baiting us and signaling their bias and signaling their base. Yes, they are. Dr. Taji says, they can never destroy us. Do you see how hard they have to work? Yes. Hey, Elise is in the building. Good morning, Elise. So good to see you. And see, they're sending out the pulse now that people know that we're on. I noticed that there has been a change to the algorithms on YouTube. I don't know what's going on, but now that we know Google is, I don't know what's happening with Google, but it's there's definitely a change. Also, that's been the algorithms in YouTube have changed. So, but anyway, if you're in the building, make sure you hit the like. We should have 15 to 20 likes already in the bank. So make sure you hit the like so that way it knows that we are all here together. Okay, are y'all guys ready for class? Let's get these screens set up. Hold on a second. Let's get this all set up for class today. And this is going to help you in your smartphone photography. And one of the things I just wanted to make sure I'm going to share, join my email list today. If you can do that, just go to ronlewisphotos.com. You can sign up, and that will put you on the mailing list. So make sure you do that. Also, if you're looking for an event photographer, I am an event photographer. So make sure that you send my information out to your friends, family, corporations, and mainly I deal with corporate photography. So reach out and let them know, hey, a photographer if you need help. with your photography. Also, I want to say thank you to my Patreon members. You guys support what we do here. And if you want to support the Patreon community, you can do that by going to Patreon and putting in Ron Lewis photos. And again, so thank you for that. And as we go into this lesson, I do teach virtually basic photography 101. So if you do want 101 lessons, make sure you do that. Or if you're in the Patreon community and you're $25 or more in the Patreon community, we can set up mini lessons for you along the way. Okay. So there you have it. There you have it. That's where we are. And let's get started. Let's get started. So if you're here, make sure how many people use their smartphone for photography? How many of you use your smartphones for photography? I want to see yes if you are yes and no if you are no. Yes, I use my photography. Yes, I use my phone for photography. No, I don't use my phone for photography. Anyone in the building? Anyone in the building? Hey, Jamel Shabazz is in the building. Hey, I see you. I see you, sir. I see you. And there's Mr. Jamel. And so, guys, are you using your smartphone for photography? One of something that Jamel said this weekend, and we photographers at least have one camera on us at any given moment. At any given moment, we have at least one camera on us, right? And I am learning so much about my new phone here. The capabilities and the clarity, and it does videos, it does a lot of stuff. I am really liking, I never thought I would leave my Samsung because I love Samsungs, but after Samsung gave me bad customer service, I had to leave them and move over to Apple. So I am loving what I've been doing is forcing myself not to carry my work camera, but using my smartphone everywhere I go. So even when I went up to the events this weekend past, I use my smartphone to take my photos, and I'm learning the different settings and how to use it, and it is going to work out to my benefit, especially as I begin to start traveling again in this new year, and hopefully by the end of the year going back to Africa. So I will be using my smartphone a lot in the next couple of months and over the next couple of years, because not always can you take out a beautiful 35 millimeter mirrorless camera in different areas around the world. So I am going to be really going back to my basics and using my smartphone like I used to. And so in doing so, I'm going to be sharing those tips with you along the way so that way you could be learning. Okay, so here we go. Well, let me go there. Mastering composition with symmetry. So today we're talking about symmetry, the composition of symmetry. Okay, here we go. Want to elevate your smartphone photography game? Let's discuss symmetry, one of the most visual, satisfying composition techniques. It's one of the easiest. It is also soothing to the eye, to the conscience. Here we go. What is symmetry? Symmetry is when both halves of your image mirror each other, or creating balance and harmony. It could be reflections, architecture, or even patterns in nature. How to capture symmetry with your smartphone. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Here we go. 1. Seek balance. Look for symmetrical elements around you. Think bridges, doorways, or perfectly aligned trees. Here we have two bridges lined up, and there's the symmetry. I like to also think of symmetry as a book fold. You ever see a book and you open the book and they're reflecting each other. And so you find the center line and you create a book fold. I used to use what we call book fold merchandising when I was a visual merchandiser. We used to call it book fold. And but it is also symmetry. Symmetry is the easiest of compositions. Look at that. You can have single, something single. But again, if you drew a line right down the middle of this flower, look at that. It's the same on both sides. Some differences, just rare, but they're pretty much the same. If you draw the line straight through, symmetry. Same thing here. You have all red on this half of the diagonal. You have a diagonal line coming straight through, and then you have zero space, which is the sidewalk. But they're in balance because you got the red on one side of the line, and you have the sidewalk, the concrete on the other. Also, you see it in the skyscrapers. I don't know if you ever visit Manhattan in New York City or your downtown area. I like to get low, kind of like get low to the ground and go like to an intersection, not in the middle of the street, if it can be helped. And then just take a look up and look at the tall buildings. And you see, look at look at everything is reflecting each other, right? The symmetry here, 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 here. They're on the same points. The points are all equal. You have a line running through, one line above, one line below, indent below, indent above. Look at that. So look at the symmetry, balance. Look at that, balance. How many of you are familiar with this composition, symmetry? Please tell me. Let me know. I would like to know. How many of you practice this? When you photograph your neighborhood, when you're out and about taking pictures, do you ever think about symmetry? Do you ever think about symmetry? Do talk. Do share. This is your class. This is your class. Class participation is a good thing. Derek says yes. Danette says yes. Okay, there we go. There's somebody's listening. Somebody's alive in the audience. Someone's alive in this classroom. Okay, symmetry. Here we go. Now she's in the middle, but it's balanced on both sides, right? And she is very minimalistic as well. Look at the minimalistic feel of this. Soft on both sides, and then she stands out, right? So giving you some ideas when it comes to symmetry, how to take better pictures using symmetry. That's going to be your homework this week. Also, use the grid. Turn on the grid lines in your camera settings. We talk about that all the time. I do not use my camera without my grid lines. My grid lines are on my big cameras, is on my video cameras, is on my phone. I use the grid. So in Apple, you can go to your settings, go to camera, and go down and click on grid. Turn on grid. When you are in a Samsung phone, because I had a Samsung phone over here as well. Here's my little Samsung. And here is my Apple. So I'm very acquainted with both now. And when you go into Samsung, you just simply go to your camera, turn on your camera, and then click the settings, and then go down and turn on the grid. The grid helps you to keep things balanced too, because you got those lines. So you want to make sure that your picture is not like this or lopsided. You can line up your horizon with the grid lines, right? If you want to keep your picture from being sideways, you can also line up your vertical grid line with the buildings that are vertical. And that way you'll have good straight, as I say, you'll have straight photos that are balanced, even, and not lopsided. So, but for this class is symmetry. Okay, so align the central axis with your subject for perfect symmetry. Perfect symmetry. This is what it looks like on your phone, right? This is what it looks like on your phone. This would be an Apple phone, right? See this? And we call this the rule of thirds. That's another composition. That is the very basics of composition. Look at that. And we talked about the points. Remember, we talked about the points for those that have been in the community a long time. We talked about these points. Your subject should be on these points. right? To the left, to the right, but some touching the points. These are the focal points, right? Okay, I see in here. And if you have questions, be sure to, you can ask questions along the way too. Cass says, I have used the grid a couple of times. Have to try using more. Always. Once you put it on, once you set it, it's set to the camera. It's set. You can just leave. And every time you turn on your camera, it's going to be there. Use the grid. I see in the building, Anthony walked in. Happy Tip Tuesday, he says. There he goes. Okay, so there you have it. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. The grid. The grid is a lifeline, especially if you're just starting out as a photographer. And then you can turn it horizontal. There you go, right? You take the phone and go horizontal. Here are these points. You know, a little trick of the trade for photographers that when I do event photography, or if I'm out and about and I'm doing photography and I just have to kind of like throw in a portrait, I can put this phone into portrait mode, and using the other way, if I do it the vertical way, right? The vertical way, I like to have my eyes, like the eyes, like your eyes of the subject on this line. I like to have the eyes on this line, or I'll have one pupil in this on this dot, or one pupil on that dot, right? So you use this line, right, for the eyes of your subject. If you're going to do a portrait shot, like we want to do a portrait, or when you do your own selfie, you could put your eyes along this line, and it will give you good symmetry around you. You're never late, Anthony. You're never late. There you go. So there you go. Use this grid. The grid is good. Okay, now moving right along. Play with reflections. One of the things I love to do is walk around the streets of New York City after a rainstorm or a rainy day or days it's been raining. Why? Because there's lots of puddles around New York City. Lots of puddles on the sidewalk. Lots of puddles in the gutter. Lots of puddles everywhere. And they're great for reflecting, creating great symmetry through reflections. And I love it. So play with reflections, water puddles, glass windows, or even shiny floors can add a creative twist to symmetrical shots, right? There you have it. Use the symmetry. Use reflections, water, shiny surfaces. There used to be an old trick of the tray. I think we talked about this one time. I'm going to use this on my. You can take if you have two, you can take a camera or you can take a reflective surface, right? And you can take your camera, right? Borrow someone's camera and take this reflective surface and kind of like put it underneath your subject, and then take the picture, and you get these amazing reflections with your smartphone. Just putting it on a reflective surface makes all the difference. It just gives that picture more dynamics to the picture, right? Okay, let's go. Let me show you something. Well, we have reflections in nature, right? So I'm using these photos obviously from stock photos, but here, I mean, look at that. So you got the mountains going down into the water, but then the reflection. Look at that reflection. Look at that reflection. Look at the book fold. Look at the symmetry. And then you have something to interrupt it, kind of like break it up a little bit, right? So you got these two people hanging out and they're breaking it up. We can talk about that later. That's another little more advanced, but we'll talk about breaking up symmetry. But look at the symmetry. Above the upper part of the photo and the bottom part of the photo. Symmetry, in balance. Look at that. In balance. Next, same thing with city skylines. Look at that. Nice skyscrapers. And we do this a lot in New York City. We look for areas where the water is calm. those days where there's very little wind and the Hudson River is just like glass. Or you can go over to the East River, and the East River is like glass. Maybe it's your lake. Maybe it's your pond. Maybe it's your brook. I mean, anything that's still water. Still water. Brook would not be it because brooks are moving. You don't want a still brook. Okay, next. Or using reflections and mirrors. They make great photos, right? It's almost like that Hollywood, almost like cinema, right? Use reflections. Don't be afraid of reflections, right? The reflections are your friend as a photographer. Get out there and play with reflections. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Like this beautiful minimalistic photo. Someone's ring on a shiny surface creates a nice 8. Or it's just very minimal on a black surface. You can create. Use reflections. Use symmetry. Next one. Experiment. Don't just stick to horizontals or verticals, which most of these that we just went through were horizontal symmetries or vertical symmetries. But they're also diagonals. We did see one diagonal, and their radial symmetry are equally eye-catching. Elise says, I love reflections. Dr. Tachi was talking about one of the photos with the skyscrapers. Just gorgeous. There you go. Here we go. Got some more. Look at that. Nature. Nature offers amazing symmetry. Nature. There's nothing more beautiful. Well, there are other things. But I would say for me, love photographing flowers. Nature. Nature offers amazing balance. Look at that. Look at this photo. Right? Nature. Go out. Take a picture of a rose from above. Like get above the rose and take the photo. Get above the flower and take the photo. Get above the tulip and take the photo. It will offer you amazing images. Also, here's a little trick of the trade. Like this photo, I don't know if it was taken this way, but I know I like doing it, is you can get above the flower or some beautiful leaf, but mainly flowers, get above and turn on your portrait mode. Make sure you turn portrait mode on, and it gives you a nice softness around the edges, right? So don't just use regular mode in your camera. Go and use some of those other settings in your camera to create other visual pictures that are pleasing to the eye. So like this one, you see how soft the edges are? Put your camera in portrait mode and you will find some really good photos that come from it. Okay, here's another one. Here's these lines, like there's little, lines everywhere. Look at that. Look at that. Here's a shell, right? Look at that. And you see the swerve. Nature has some of the, like I said, nature, you go to the beach, you can take pictures of shells. You can blow them up and put them on your wall. I mean, there's so much available to you. You don't necessarily have to go and buy art from the art gallery. You can create your own art. There's nothing better than having your own photos on your wall. Right? Danette says, I love flowers. Never thought to use portrait mode. See, that's why we're here. That's why I do this. That's why we have these Tip Tuesdays. Okay, if you're out there, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes. If you're here, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you put my stuff in the comment box. You have any questions, make sure you can put those questions in. I will stop and answer your questions. We look at the time. Okay, we're a little over. We're gonna get out of here on time. We're around our regular time. I try to get you out by 15 after the hour. Look at this one, a fun one, right? Look at that. Symmetry. Right? Symmetry. Symmetry is an amazing concept for composition in photography. Challenge your creativity using symmetry. Try photographing your favorite urban or nature spots. Share your shots and tag us here at Touch Base Daily, or you can put Ron Lewis Photos. You can just tag us, tag me, and then I can kind of like also feature some of your photos. You can just tag me, and when you take a photo, and I can kind of like save it, and then we can share some of them. Okay, we can do that you can post those on Instagram. You have to tag it on Instagram, and then that way I can see it, and then I can save it, and then share it. Okay, so maybe like next week when we do our Tip Tuesday, we'll do like I teach when I do with my students. My students get projects during the week, and then we spend the first 15-20 minutes critiquing their homework. So why not bring that to you guys, right? So we'll critique. If you do this, if you go out this week and tag me on the photo that you're posting, and the topic this week is symmetry, then next week we'll have a 12-minute critique, right? And we'll look at the photos together. How about that? We'll do that together. Okay, so challenge your creativity using symmetry. Try photographing your favorite urban and nature spots. Share your shots and tag us for a chance to be featured. Okay, there you go. There you have it, guys. Did you get anything out of that? Did you learn anything? If you learned something today, put in there what you learned. I want to see what you learned today. Did you learn anything about symmetry? What did you learn that you did not know about symmetry, the composition of symmetry in photography? Put it in the box. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. And then we're going to head on out of here. Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what you learned. There's, teachers, and Elise can vouch for this. When a teacher speaks and shares, the last thing you want to do is what? Follow up and say, what did you learn today? What did you learn today? And then by repeating it, you are sure to remember it, right? If you repeat what you learned, you are sure to remember it. Okay, so anyone out there learn anything? Anyone? Bueller, is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Okay, I guess not. No one learned. I know. Oh, we know Danette learned something. I don't know about anyone else. I don't see anything going on. I don't see any comments. Okie dokie. So thank you, Danette, for sharing what you learned today, because she put out, I love flowers. Never thought to use portrait mode. There you go. There you go. Elise says, I learned to use the portrait mode. See? You got all of these settings on your camera, on your smartphone. Use them. Experiment. It will make your photography fun. Experimentation. Danette says, using grid lines for portraits. Also using portrait mode to take pictures of flowers. There you go. And Anthony says, if it's fractured, they'll give it to you for free. Where did that come from, sir? Was that meant for us? And definitely the portrait mode use, says Hannah. Anthony, was that meant for us? Dr. Tachi says the portrait mode. So that was the highlight of this lesson. The portrait mode. Oh, you said check your previous comment. Okay, well, did I miss it? You said hanging Okay. Oh, I'm 45 minutes early in the real estate shoot. So I'm having a hangout with the RLP family. Okay, got you. I got you, dude. I got you. I got you. Okay. Okay. Here we are. Cass says, need to need to revisit the grid lines. Yes. And Omar says, always learning, Ron. Just working for the man now. There you go. And then it looks like Anthony, it looks like I'm missing one of your something did not come through. All I got was this. If it's fractured, they'll give it to you for free. But before that, there's nothing. So one of your texts did not come through. One of your comments did not come through. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got something out of this, and see if some of you have. I see. Hit again. Remember to hit the likes, and that generates the algorithms that you appreciate what we do here. And also, I will be seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow is our wisdom. We're gonna have water cooler talk tomorrow, so we might have our panel discussion, or there might be a surprise guest. So I haven't figured it out yet for tomorrow. So we might have a special guest tomorrow. So, anyways, until tomorrow, have a great day. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Do something that you love. Give yourself a hug as well, and especially in these days. And make sure you tell someone you love them, and make sure you tell yourself that you love you. Okay, I'm out. Guys, thank you so much. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.